What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Macho Movie Madness.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Brandon. Alongside me always is Andrew. And today we are going to be reviewing a brand new movie, well, mostly new movie, and that is Axel Foley, or Axel F, Beverly Hills Cop. I don't even know the official name of this movie.
Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Just Beverly Hills Cop 4. That's what we're going to call it because we're old and we don't care. What you think about this movie?
I really enjoyed it. I think it's a worthwhile entry into the franchise. Definitely
After the third one.
The one that came before it.
Yeah. So just put it plain and simple, this movie's worth a watch. So this is 30 years later, 30 years after the third one. Because the third one came out in 1994, after the old Wonder World incident.
The less we talk about that, the better. I love that they threw shade at that movie. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in there. He's recounting all of Axel Foley's exploits in LA, and he's like 84 and then 87 and then again in 94, and he's like, which we don't talk about. That wasn't your finest hour. And I thought that was pretty good. That was good. A lot of good returns in this movie. John Ashton, Judge Reinhold is back. Paul Reiser's back. Yeah.
He's like the captain now, I guess. Or something in Detroit. And then Bronson Pinkett, whatever it is. He's
espresso with a lemon twist.
With a lemon twist. He's Serge. Serge. There's other. I think Luis Guzman makes an appearance in this movie.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Christopher McDonald makes a cameo here, like a Happy Gilmore reference kind of. He's not Shooter McGavin, but he basically is Shooter McGavin, I guess. And this was basically an R-rated movie too. I don't know, was Beverly Hills Cop 3 an R-rated movie?
I can't recall. There's not too much in it to make it R, really.
I know. This is just this, and this one here is just language. They really kind of spruced it up. No, they talked about strip club, but they didn't go to the strip club in this one, which is kind of the funny thing about the first two. The director was Mark Malloy, and I believe it's his directorial debut.
Not too bad.
Not too shabby, man. Produced by Jerry Bruckheimer and Eddie Murphy. Kevin Bacon's also in this.
Yeah. The minute I saw Kevin Bacon in this movie, I'm like, okay, the best actor in the movie, he's got to be the bad guy.
100%. I feel like Kevin Bacon's a bad guy in everything now. He just flipped back. But yeah, definitely, he is Captain Cade Grant in L.A. and very, very dirty. Because why not? He runs the narcotics task force. And his task force is basically just goons. They're not even officially with the precinct. They're just goons. Straight up hired guns.
Yeah.
But the story to get him back to LA is a very simple one. Judge Reinhold's character, Rosewood. Rosewood, thank you. Gosh dang it. Billy Bishop. What the hell am I getting Bishop from? Oh, I know what it's from. We were talking aliens before this, and that's why. So Billy Rosewood, his character has been investigating and something, basically a cop murder, I believe is what it was.
Yeah.
The Axel's daughter lives out. She's a defense attorney in LA, and she lives in LA. And they have a very estranged relationship. They're estranged. He hasn't talked to her in several years, and she is defending the guy that they're basically trying to pin the murder on.
Yeah,
I believe. What initially started the phone call was his daughter, the defense attorney, got spooked basically, and threatened with her life, which was, I thought, pretty interesting. They put her in her car and then tied a cable to her car and then pushed the car off the parking garage and let her hang there. That was pretty wild. Which then got her involved with Billy, and Billy went ahead and called Axel. Axel comes out. By the time Axel gets out, Billy goes missing.
So now they're trying to find Billy, what's going on with him, and then trying to figure out what's going on with these murders. And he's once again told to go home multiple times, both by LAPD and his daughter, who doesn't want him there. And he does whatever Axel Foley does in this movie, and he stays. And they save the day. Yada, yada, yada. Have I missed anything?
No, not really.
I mean,
you got a new character integrated in there, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I can't remember what his character's name was. It's been a few weeks since I've seen the movie. But
Bobby Abbott, detective.
Bobby. And I really like his character. And there's a hilarious scene with a helicopter in the movie.
Yes,
made me roll.
Yes, this movie, in case you were wondering, is nothing like the third movie. It is very much similar to the first. It has a similar feel to the first. I mean, I don't think you can really replicate the feel of the first two, but it's got that a little bit. It's definitely way better than the third. It's a very good movie.
Yes,
especially for a 2024 movie that is maybe 20 years too late. Made.
It's got that nostalgic feel.
It does.
You've got a great chase in the beginning. You know, all those movies, they had a pretty well. The first one for sure had a really good chase in the beginning. I love the opening scene of this thing. We're going to talk spoilers, right?
Go ahead. Yeah, let's go ahead. Yeah, it's been out long enough.
When he goes to the hockey rink and the whole thing with being a black man. Why can't a black man like hockey?
Yeah.
And I love that chase on the snow.
It's very good. Yes, very good. Very good. Just, and of course, just destroys the city.
So much collateral damage.
So much, yeah. Which obviously gets him in mad trouble, and I think even to the point where Paul Reiser's character was thinking about stepping down.
Yeah, he can't take up for him anymore.
No, can't take up for him anymore.
One thing I noticed in Paul Reiser's office, did you see the picture of Inspector Todd?
Yeah, I did see that. That was cool. Yeah, on the wall. That was a good nod. Trying to think if there's any other nods to the old ones. Taggart's back. I don't think he was in the third one.
Nope.
But he's now the police chief of LAPD, and he looks kind of better than I expected.
Yeah,
that's a long time ago.
He's alive.
Yeah, he's alive. Yeah. He was old in the first one, so just 40 years later, basically, it's kind of crazy to think about. The movie is full of a lot of very similar to the first couple as far as action goes. Very similar humor, very similar action, which is not a bad thing. Not a bad thing, especially after the third movie and being away for so long. I think this was a good way to introduce the character back and to tickle everybody's kind of fancy.
If this is the last one, it was a good one to go out on.
If this was the last one, it's a good one to go out on. Budget for this thing was around 150 million. That's what I'm seeing. But this was released on Netflix. This does not get a theatrical release. I don't know why. I feel like this would have been a good enough movie to go just to be released in theaters. It had a release of July 3rd. So I feel like there's not a whole lot coming out. I don't know I'm not into theater marketing or anything like that, so it might be kind of a kiss of death anyway. I don't know. Maybe not, because Batman was released on June 29th, so that's only a couple days after. I feel like if there's not much going on yet, because you don't have Twisters yet. Twisters just came out at the time of this recording. You got Deadpool and Wolverine coming out. If you're beating them to the punch by a couple 2 or 3 weeks,
yeah, that's all.
I feel like it's all good, and I feel like Eddie Murphy I feel like it would do him some justice to be back on the big screen.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Netflix is doing better. I don't know. I don't know how the numbers work in that whole thing anymore. I mean, it just seems like this would be a good summer to go to the theater.
Yeah. Yeah, it has been, and it will continue to be.
I think it will be for a few more months. It will be a good year to go to the theater. We're finally getting some decent movies. And some of them are legacy movies. You've got Twisters, like I said. Not Deadpool so much, but you've got Wolverine in that, which is played by Hugh Jackman, which is a legacy character in that franchise now. This is his last thing. And then you got Beetlejuice coming out.
Yeah.
You got a new Aliens movie. I mean, you got a lot of stuff. There's a Gladiator 2 coming out for some reason. So like there's it just seems like this would be kind of the year to release this stuff in theaters. And I could be wrong in my thinking, but I feel like that would have been better than Netflix.
especially for $150 million. Good
How you gonna
Lord.
recoup that?
Why do you need $150 million for this movie?
Yeah, that's wild.
It's just barely. Okay, hold on a second. I'm just gonna look up the first one. I gotta look up the budgets for these. I don't want to bog the review down in time, but come on. 27 million for the second movie. 70 million for the third?
Woohoo! I bet
That
it
doesn't
doesn't make
make-
that back.
119.
Oh, well.
But Beverly Hills Cop 2, which I think we talked about during our verses, 27 million, it made 299.
Yeah, made $300 million movie.
So that means that the first Beverly Hills Cop would have been less, 13 million, it made 234.
Yeah.
I just don't know what the hell you need $150 million for. That's
This
what I'm
day and
saying.
age, you're not going to recoup that unless it's the biggest thing like Twisters or something.
Well, Twisters was made for 150 million.
Yeah.
Or 200, or maybe 200. I don't know. But still, what did you need that much money for? This movie. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get into my bugaboos for this movie. There was no Eddie Murphy laugh, which seems really weird.
It wasn't
to
in
say.
the third one, really. I think there was twice in the third one.
They got rid of that. That and what's just whatever. I'm just being funny. But the biggest thing I have about this movie is some of the filters that they use on these new movies, and they kind of stopped doing that for a little while. And some of it's, I know it's a direction that certain people take. Like the LA scenes everything seemed too dark. There was some kind of dark filter over the Detroit scenes that made it seem just a little
During
bit
the
too,
chase and stuff.
yeah, a little bit too dark. And then of course LA, it was lighter, but you had this like orange bronze filter almost, and then you have
there in the background behind us.
It's yeah, you could see, yeah, that's kind of how the movie looked a lot. Even during like the midday scenes, because that's a sunset looking kind of scene there. And then of course they riddle these movies nowadays with too much lens flare. And there was a few times where there was some lens flare in this movie that I just didn't think was needed. But other than that, I like the movie. There was nothing too crazy over the top, nothing too egregious. It's just, I think aesthetically it could have been a little bit more pleasing, especially for a movie that needed to be a callback to the first two. It could have been a little bit brighter, a little bit more natural, and yeah.
I know it was part of the storyline, but I kind of miss Billy in this movie just a little bit.
I think we could have used more Judge Reinhold. I don't mind, I guess, him being kidnapped, but I feel like they could have maybe we could have saved him a little earlier in the movie.
I did like how when they ransacked his apartment, and I believe Eddie Murphy was in there, they still got the Cobra poster and everything.
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
And they did utilize Axel Foley's wild stories pretty well a couple times in this movie too. In that scene in particular where he kind of just bullshitted his way into getting people to believe him for a minute. And
right.
I love that about not just the character, but Eddie Murphy in general just seems like he's good at that. I don't really have a whole lot more to say about the film. I feel like I've probably just drug the review on more than I probably should, but
the music, man, we've not talked about the music at all.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, let's talk about the music real quick. The music was one of the strongest points of the film.
Yeah,
I think, because you still had the classic themes, but even like some of the other stuff that wasn't in the old movies was fit very well.
Yeah,
it still was a throwback kind of soundtrack.
Yeah, I did like one scene made me laugh. I think it's when he steals the Meter Maid Side by Side, whatever that was, and they play Neutron Dance by the Pointer Sisters as he's making a very slow getaway.
Yes.
And when we did a versus a couple months ago, I chose the first movie for music, and now I forgot all about that song in that review. And Neutron Dance. That's another reason why I enjoyed the first one just a little bit more. But yeah, some of that really made me laugh. And I love how the villains, there was that John Carpenter sound and theme.
Yes.
For them in that. Just
they brought back The Heat Is On too.
And Shakedown.
The very beginning they brought that back, and I like that. Yeah, very strong soundtrack and score for the movie. Of course, we don't have any kind of like box office totals because it wasn't released in the theaters, and I don't know what kind of money this thing's making being on Netflix. They've made their money through deals, I'm sure, or whatever. I just don't know how. I guess I should have looked it up, but I didn't look up to see how much was being watched. You might be able to find that. But overall, runtime's 118 minutes, so just under 2 hours. It didn't ever feel long, although that's long.
Yeah, that's
for a comedy action. It's long. I feel like maybe an hour 45 at the latest, at the longest.
Yeah.
But it didn't ever feel that bad. So I can give it credit for that. What did you think of Kevin Bacon was great. What did you think of the daughter? Taylor Page, I believe is her name.
It was okay. You know, they're doing a strange thing, which is nothing to get excited about. But I thought by the end of the movie the payoff was pretty good.
Yeah, I think so too. At first, I wasn't sure how to feel about her. I felt about her.
Yeah, that's
and not because the strain, just how her presence and how she was. But
I liked
by
how
the end, I liked it.
Her and Bobby were dating, and Axel knew it immediately.
Yeah, 100%.
He's just sensed it. Yeah.
Yeah, he just sensed it. Yeah. Joseph Gordon-Levitt was good in the movie. I like him in just about everything he does too. Pretty damn good shot for detective too.
Yeah.
But pretty ballsy. I liked that. Any bugaboos or real cons for you?
No, not really. Like I said, the Judge Reinhold thing, which it had to be that way, you know, that he was kidnapped. But
yeah,
it's a Beverly Hills Cop movie, so you kind of really miss him not being.
I wasn't expecting him to be in it so little, and that did kind of bother me a little bit.
Yeah,
because I feel like what made it him and Taggart's banter, and then the banter between all three of them is what made. And there was some banter with Taggart being in there. I thought he had a really good role, and he had some funny bits with. He's like he retired, but he's like, he didn't
want to stay home with his wife.
Yeah, he got back together with her again, Marine or whatever her name was. This was like, didn't he mention her in the first movie?
Oh, in both of them. Yeah.
Yes, he was on and again, off again all the time. So now he's back on again with her, and now he's back at work because he didn't want to be home with her. So just hilarious. But yeah, we were definitely missing Rosewood. We should have had a moment where. Or no, did we have a moment with Rosewood where he's like, please freeze or something like that when it was already done?
But yeah, if not, it should have been in there.
I think he might have. He's notorious for, after the thing is done, he pops out all brave. Yeah. Overall, it's a good movie. It's a solid movie.
I'm thinking like 3.25 out of 5.
3.25 out of 5. I don't remember. We haven't really rated the first two movies.
I don't think it's as good as those.
No, I think you would probably put them closer to a 4, maybe closer to 4, low 4s or high 3s. So I would probably give this a 3.25 or 3.25.
Yeah,
because the third one's probably in a 2.5 or something too.
Negative.
It's negative. It's not good. Negative Ghost Rider.
It's not a good Beverly Hills Cop movie.
Yeah, I'd give this.
Revisited it lately and it was terrible.
Yeah, I'd give this a solid 3 for sure. Maybe 3.25. So definitely worth watching. Definitely a good comeback for the character, for the franchise.
Good nostalgic feel to this one too.
It is. I wouldn't mind having another one. If we don't get another one, it was good that it ended this way, and not off of 3.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll do another 48 hours again or something and put Nick Nolte's crazy. Is he still alive? I mean, could his crazy ass in?
He might be. I'm not sure.
Let's replace him with Gary Busey.
Yeah.
And then just get fucking wild.
Buttered sausage.
Yeah. Butter sausage. Well, we're going to wrap this up because I feel like I'm dragging this along a little bit, but definitely go check out
Axel
F. Yeah, whatever. Beverly Hills Cop 4 on Netflix. Go check it out.
thank you for watching. If you are still with us, thank you for putting up with my ass throughout this, because I feel like I'm dragging at this point, because we've already filmed a couple of these reviews tonight. Anyway, yeah, let us know in the comments below what you think of Axel F, and be sure to like, subscribe, stay tuned, because we've got, we have Twisters. If you haven't seen that one, go check that one out. We should have that released probably before this one. We'll have our Twisters review. That was a really good one. I feel like that was a strong review too. We've got a good Predator versus Aliens versus coming up. We got that one, going to be on the lookout for that. And we've got a Perfect Weapon Warehouse B, which was pretty solid too. So be on the lookout for that as well. And then we'll be talking Deadpool and Wolverine at some point, and the new Alien movie coming out in August. We'll be talking about that at some point.
Yep.
Stay tuned for that. Until next time,
we're out of here.